Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we are here at Frederick County Animal Control with some of our adoptable animals that we have in the shelter on Rosemont Avenue. And we like to bring you a variety every week so that you can see the animals that end up in the shelter, and most importantly, you can help us to find homes for them by either finding the dog or cat of your dreams, or bird or lizard, or of course by sending their picture around to someone who might be interested. And our first guest this morning is Gracie. Gracie is part husky, maybe part border collie. We can't be sure because she came to us. She likes people so much, she's not even gonna look away from us. But she came to the shelter as a lost dog. Someone found her in Mount Airy. So we go ahead and call Carroll County Animal Shelter and let them know, because she was found close to a county border. And there is one shelter here in Frederick, there's one shelter in Carroll County, there's one shelter in Washington County. So we try to share with each other, getting the word out about dogs that are lost or found. We haven't been able to find her owner. And we think that she is probably 8 or 9 years old. She could be younger, she could be older. We make a judgment based on her appearance and the wear and tear on her teeth. This is just a lovely dog, and I hope that someone will be willing to come and give her another chance at having a home life. Or what would be really great is if she has a family that's missing her, if we could reconnect them, because I'm sure she doesn't understand where they've gone and would love to see them again. She seems like she's been very well cared for. So if you think that Gracie would make a good match for you or someone you know, or if you can help us get the word out that she's here in the shelter. One of the problems with finding lost dogs is that we think she's husky and border collie, but it could be very possible that she's Malamute and Australian Shepherd. And so we put up our notices that say mixed husky, and someone who sees that without her picture is gonna say, nope, that's not our dog. So she was wearing a red collar, but she didn't have any other identification, so we just haven't been able to find her family. If you are interested in Gracie or any other dog, please come by the shelter and meet her and meet some of our other animals. We hope that we'll make a match for you today. We are back with our second guest, Brownie. And Brownie is another oldie but goodie, probably another kind of border collie or herding mix. And we think that, well, we know that Brownie is about 12. She has lived with a family her whole entire life, and she has been displaced because the family has a disabled family member that they have to keep Brownie away from. So it's become really complicated for them to do that and offer her everything that she needs, as well as offering their family member everything that he needs. So we are hoping to find somebody who can give Brownie a little bit of freedom and enjoyment in her remaining years. It's a little bit hard to find people willing to take a 12-year-old dog, and we do completely understand that. But the wonderful thing about Frederick County is that there are so many generous people who actually do this exact thing. They come to the shelter and ask us right through the front door, who is the dog most in need? Who is the cat that's been here the longest? So we're very grateful that there are people like that out there, and we hope that we can find one just like that for Brownie, because she is used to children, used to family life, house trained, not afraid of vacuum cleaners, obviously. She does have a lot to offer a family. So if you are interested in a dog like Brownie that may not have 10 years left to give, but she certainly could have a few, and is already ready to do everything that you need your pet dog to do, then please consider coming by and meeting her, or passing her picture on to somebody who might be perfect for her. We are back with our next guest. This is Coco, and we think that Coco is 8 or 9 years old. Coco came to us also as a lost dog, so we had to guess about the age, but Coco has been here before. The last time Coco was here, we checked the microchip, and it went to an owner that is not this dog's owner. So when we did find the owner who came and claimed the dog, we begged them, please update the microchip, because if he ever gets lost again, we'll need to be able to contact you. So apparently they never did that, and we do have information in the computer about the old owner, but it has changed, and we're trying to find his family. Chances are that we won't be able to. They're not going to claim him, and since he's been loose before, we are looking for a new home for Coco. One of the things that people often ask is, but what if I adopt a dog from the shelter who had an owner and I'm walking my dog around and I run into that owner? We do everything that we can to find the owner, everything that we have to do legally and more. And most often what happens is that when we locate the owner, they say that they're just not willing to do what it takes to help their dog stay home. So we will give you all of that information if you are interested in Coco, so that you can feel assured that he'll be your dog. And we will also explain to you how to transfer the microchip over, so that if this ever happens again, it won't be so hard to find the owner. One of the things that microchipping has done for us is great, making sure we know animals that have been registered are the same animal. That's very typical with brown tabby cats. It's very hard to tell one from the other if you don't know them personally. So microchipping has done a great thing, but if the microchip is not registered and updated, it really doesn't help us. It really doesn't help us at all. So while it can be a great technology to use and help save lives, we really do need people to go to that extra effort to keep the information up to date. So if you...
Is Coco's registered name?
Yeah, Coco is, I'm not sure about that actually. Randy asked a really good question. When we get a stray dog, we pick a name for them so that we don't have to call him 369, because that's a little awkward for us, even though he probably wouldn't care one bit. He is the 369th dog that we have, animal that we've admitted since July 1. So we're pretty busy here, and we don't like to just call them by their digits, so they get a name. So I can find out if that name was one that we gave her, sorry Coco, we gave her when she came in, or one that we know from the microchip information that we have. And obviously, whenever you adopt a pet, we don't know how important their name is to them unless we know how they were raised. So dogs never mind if you change their name to something that has meaning for you and them, and they very quickly figure out what you call them, so they don't miss anything important.
You've also figured out the rabbits. You figured out there's rabbits over there, haven't you?
If you would like to meet Coco, or would like to pass Coco's information on to somebody who might be a perfect match, then please do so. That really helps us. And she, I'm so sorry for calling you a boy, she didn't seem to care, is available for adoption now while we try to find her family. There is someone in our hallway, but Randy's right. I think that's about the bunnies. We are back with our next guest. This is Fifi, and obviously Randy has undergone some transformational change. This is Jennifer, and Jennifer is one of our animal caretakers that you guys don't get to meet on the TV show, but you certainly see them when you come into the shelter. We have 7 animal caretakers who spend hours on end a day keeping the shelter clean for you, keeping the animals comfortable for themselves, and also trying to help prepare them for their future. The reason that Jennifer volunteered to bring our guest Fifi to see you is because she's afraid of new people, and she might take action against new people who handle her roughly or frighten her. So she let Randy know in no uncertain terms that she hasn't been properly introduced to him and that he will not be taking her on a date to a TV show. So Fifi is here with Jennifer, who she does know, and we also have another staff member, Ruth, who's made friends with her. And Fifi is going to be having an interview today with a family who's considering taking her. So if you feel like she might be the dog for you, please call, because the family that's coming in today to talk to me is going to talk to me about the fact that she is not yet house trained, and she is well past the age where that should have been accomplished. She is very shy, so we would recommend that she not be in a home with small children who are going to want to pick her up and hold them right up by their faces, because she may react in a fearful way to that, which could get someone hurt. So if you have the patience and time for such a gentle little soul that feels like the world is a scary place and you can convince her otherwise, then please let us know. And also, if you've ever considered fostering a dog like this, temporarily taking her on to help her become all she can be, we have a great foster program, and we really need families that will, like Jennifer, pet the dogs, get them comfortable, let them realize with each new person that things can get better, can be a safe place to live, and grow their confidence. But because Fifi is an adult, we do want someone who is going to be willing to understand if you have a big party, Fifi ought to be tucked away in a quiet room so she doesn't have to face things that she's not prepared for. If you think that she is the right dog for you, please give us a call. If you think you know somebody who might be perfect for her, then pass her picture or information along so we can find her a perfect match. Our last dog guest today is a puppy, 10-month-old Chase. And Chase has never been outside the house in which he was born. His mother had puppies. The owner kept some of the puppies, found homes for some of the puppies, and now at 10 months old, she wasn't able to find someone willing to take Chase, so she brought him into the shelter for us to try. A little bit hard on him to be in the shelter because of never having left the house with his mother. So he is destined for the same future as Fifi, our previous guest, if we don't do something about it now. So what he is experiencing is lots of different people, lots of different places, different surfaces, things to help him be ready for a full life so that he won't remain shy. And when he came in here to the TV show studio area, he's a little afraid of the shiny floor. So Chase is also going to need the same kind of patient, gentle family that Fifi is going to need. But obviously, because he is a terrier, a pit bull type terrier, he's going to need a different kind of family because Fifi's life is going to be pretty much paraded around on a velvet pillow. Whereas Chase's life should be more filled with some ball playing and hiking and things that will help keep him fit once he's ready. For now, he's going to need somebody who's patient and understands that his experience with dogs is great. He knows exactly what other dogs are saying, whether they want to play, don't want to play, want to share, don't want to share. But he's only met one person until coming here about a week ago. So, big week for Chase, and we hope a lot of big things up ahead for him as well. Another thing he has going against him is his breed. Because the Court of Appeals decision is still not settled, a lot of people are reluctant to get pit bulls because they want to make sure that any of the 30 breeds of dogs considered pit bulls are going to be okay with their landlord, okay with their neighborhood association, and right now we just don't know. So if you know anyone who is willing to put in some work for him and give him a future, we would love to meet that person and talk to them about Chase. Remember that the shelter is open on Wednesday and Thursday night until 8 and on Saturdays. We are going to be back after a short break with more adoptable animals that might be right for you. Hope you'll stay with us.
Get out and be active. The Frederick County Division of Parks and Recreation offers a variety of recreational opportunities for citizens of all ages and ability. Experience the fun and excitement by visiting our special events, participating in youth activities such as youth sports, cooking classes, or camps, or get in shape by attending one of our many fitness classes, martial art classes, or dance classes. Whatever you're looking for, we are sure to have it. The Frederick County Division of Parks and Recreation, where Frederick County comes to play.
Before, addiction and depression kept me from living my life. And now, every step I take in recovery benefits everyone. There are many options that make the road to recovery more accessible. It begins with the first step. Join the Voices for Recovery. For information and treatment referral for you or someone you love, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. Thanks for joining us again. We are back with some more adoptable animals at Frederick County Animal Control, and I would like to introduce you to Kiwi and Pickles. Kiwi and Pickles are Quaker parakeets. Pickles is 15 years old, and Kiwi is only 2 years old. These birds can live 20 or even 30 years, so adopting one is a big commitment. And they like each other, so we are going to adopt them out together. You know the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. If birds enjoy each other's company, then there's really nothing that they like more than the companionship of someone that understands them. And these two little birds came to us from a family who is not going to be able to keep them anymore because they have to take in a family member that needs a lot of care. So Kiwi and Pickles are here with us until we find the proper placement for them. You needn't worry about them because we work with a rescue called Phoenix Landing, and they are great about taking on birds pretty quickly if they stay in the shelter and no one is interested. And we also have a wish list, which means that if you see an animal that you would like to adopt, but you don't believe that animal is likely to be in a shelter, then we encourage you to use our wish list function. And what that means is, let's say you've always wanted an Indian ringneck parakeet. Then you call and let us know that, and if we get one, we will call you. And what is surprising about what animals come through shelters is that in the years that I've been here, we've pretty much had every kind of pet animal that you can imagine. We've had an emu, we've had hedgehogs, guinea pigs, hamsters, red-tailed boas, ferrets, all kinds of animals that you might not think end up in a shelter, even purebred dogs that are rare, like we've had 3 Japanese chins, Weimaraners, all kinds of dogs that, and cats that you might think wouldn't be available through a shelter. Now, one of the things about getting on our wish list is that, yes, you have to wait for your perfect pet. However, if you were going to go to a breeder that produced your animal on purpose for you, there would also be a waiting list. So if you are able to get an animal quickly, you should second guess that source, because why would someone simply have animals available all the time? It doesn't mean that it's not a good source. It just means that you need to question the quality and the availability of the animals. So we do encourage you to use the shelter when you can. Kiwi and Pickles are available at the shelter. And if you are interested in birds of any kind, please call. We could tell you about what they need. This cage that they're in is a lovely cage, but it's actually too small to provide everything that they need for their lives. So if you were interested in providing a long-term home for parrots, you're going to need a lot larger space, especially horizontal space, so that they would have the opportunity to fly. But here in the shelter, we have to keep them safe from our cats and dogs, so they are temporarily, as are our dogs and cats, required to be in a smaller space than they actually need for their lifetime. So if you think that birds are in your future, let us know. We can hook you up with Phoenix Landing, and they can tell you all about it. We are back with a black and white short-haired cat named Avocado. And the reason that Randy is using a towel is that Avocado was sneezing. So in the case, if he sneezes, we want to be able to protect Randy's clothes so that he can handle the next guest. And we do treat animals here for upper respiratory infection as long as they're otherwise healthy and friendly. and Avocado is getting some medicine for his sneezing. It's like a daycare center here. We would love it if nobody would bring us any animals that have a cold. But since we take in strays, we really can't control that. And sometimes stray animals do come to us recovering from or harboring cold or germs that they could pass on to other cats if we don't wash our hands between animals. And that's why we ask you when you come to the shelter to use the hand sanitizers that we have all over the walls between handling different animals. And sometimes it's hard for people to remember. They reach in and are affectionate with a cat and then pass right to the next cage and do the same. So sometimes we do have a number of cats that are sneezing because they catch colds from each other, despite trying very hard not to pass on germs. Avocado was a stray cat that came to us by some caring citizens that knew he was going to need a family because he definitely likes people. And he's about 1 or 2 years old and will make somebody a really great pet. So if you are interested in a cat, please come by and meet all the cats we have. We have seriously over 100, and many are tiny kittens, but they're friendly and will tell you all about their health and their needs. So please do consider the shelter first. It's a great deal because you get your cat started on vaccinations, spayed and neutered, treated for worms, treated for fleas, and ready to jump into your family with open paws. You are sweet. We are back with Bitsy, and Bitsy is a 7-year-old brown tabby cat who lost his home when they moved. And one specific benefit that Bitsy has is that he lived with a dog and loved the dog. So very often people ask us about getting a pet, how that pet will do with their existing pets, and it is really helpful when we know something about their past. Although we get a lot of stray animals, we can assume that they have met others on their time in the world and that they would do okay. It is really nice to know that Bitsy in particular had a dog friend and did very well with him. So in case you have a dog and would like to get a cat, then Bitsy might be the right cat for you. It is a very common occurrence for cats to lose their home when people move. And it's kind of hard for us at the shelter to understand that because, of course, everyone who works here has pets, and we've moved plenty of times, and we have never parted with a pet during a move. But in these tough economic times, there are a number of people who do not get the opportunity to plan for their move. It comes on suddenly, they find themselves in an emergency situation and aren't able to find housing where they can bring their pets along, as was the case for Bitsy. So he is looking for a new home. He's 7 years old, which the upside of that is that he's litter trained, he's not clawing the furniture, he gets along with other animals, he has experience with kids, so that's a great thing. But sometimes people are reluctant to take a middle-aged pet. And what I would say to you is how many of you are watching right now and consider yourself middle-aged, 40-ish, 50-ish? If that's the case, would you hope that somebody would take you in if you needed to start your life over? Of course we do. And we can be great companions even when we're set in our ways. So Bitsy has a lot to offer, and he would like to offer it freely in this room right now. So if you think that he would be a good match for you or someone that you know, let us know or pass his picture around.
You smell the dogs here, don't you?
He's swishing his tail too. He wants to do something. We are back with Lana. Lana is a gray tabby with almost spots in place of her stripes. She's about 2 or 3 years old, and she was brought to us by someone who has known her during that lifetime and knows that no one takes care of her. So last winter obviously was pretty mild, and she did just fine, but they were worried that at this point in time, she's an adult, she needs to be spayed so that she doesn't have kittens of her own. She needs to be vaccinated, be cared for, and be attached to somebody. So they brought her in so that she would not be at risk out in the wild. One of the things about stray cats is that their lifespan is so much shorter than a pet cat. Pet cats can live 15, 20 years, but stray cats only live a few years before something will happen. Either dogs can get to them or a car accident or something like that. So obviously illness is a big problem for them too, because they're not vaccinated and sheltered during hard weather. So they experience a lot of stress. Also, parasites can run them down. So we have taken care of all of those things. She has been treated for fleas and started on her vaccinations and fed a great diet, and she is ready to start a new life. So one thing that's been hard for Lana, although you can't tell because she's got a great attitude, is going from the freedom of living outside, doing what she wants whenever she wants, and now living in a tiny cage with only some chances to come out and be handled. As you can see, she is raring to go, jump around this room and do anything that she would consider more fun than waiting for you to come and adopt her, which is all she can do right now.
She's not using her claws,
So yeah, Randy said she's not trying to use claws. She's not fighting. She just wants to do stuff. So if you would like to help Lana do stuff, then come by the shelter and meet her and see if her beautiful green eyes are right for you. We are back with a brown tabby, domestic short hair cat who also has spots in place of her stripes. And the reason Allie is on the TV show today is because you guys have previously met her, if you are regular watchers, in April 14th to be exact. Allie was on the TV show then when she first arrived here, and we were hoping to find a home for her, and we have not been successful. So the reason I put her back on the TV show today is because she has something on her profile that I think is stopping her from getting a home. And that is that she was found by a family who had a dog, and she seemed to want to come in their house, so they let her in. And she hissed at and aggressively chased their dog, jumped up on their kitchen counter and peed. So they brought her to the shelter. So that is what people think Allie has to offer. And I can tell you that is not the case at all. Yes, she doesn't like dogs, but she has been in the shelter since April. It's now August. She uses her litter box exclusively. She enjoys attention from volunteers and staff of all ages. And she is a delightful, wonderful cat. Yes, she just doesn't want to live in that dog's house. So we hope that now that we know a lot more about her, that someone would be interested in giving her a chance. She's quite a lovely cat. She's, of course, like all of our cats, had her shots, been treated for fleas. And she is very interested in our thumping bunny off camera. So having lived free for a while, I'm sure she was able to find her own food. And I would expect that she's interested in finding out what's going on over there. And you met earlier our birds. They're also in here. So she's interested in just finding out more about what's in this room. She's been in a tiny cage since April. Obviously, cats get to come out and get attention from our volunteers. But she would definitely like to go back to her life of walking around where she wants to and seeing what she wants to see, as long as it's not a dog. So if you are interested in adopting Allie or one of our many adoptable, friendly, healthy cats, then please come by the shelter and meet them, or let us know what you're interested in, and we will help you find a perfect match. So thanks for joining us on Pet Pals. Hope you join us again next time. If you would like more information, please go to the link on the screen below, or check out our county webpage or petfinder.com. And you can watch all of the past episodes on the web if you so choose. You may find animals that were with us that have not been adopted yet. And obviously, we would love you to pass the link on to anyone you think might be interested.